You are looking live here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah, here at DNA HQ. On today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap, we have...
Is it time for the state of Utah to back the Utah Mammoth?
For the Utes, we have a wide receiver looking for a breakout season.
Can the Utah Jazz win 50 games next year?
In Major League Baseball, is there an issue regarding buying out arbitration? All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. Real good. Beautiful day. How are you?
Doing well. Hello, Internet, and welcome to another exciting edition of the DNA Sports Recap. Dude, let's just jump right into it, man.
Absolutely.
Once again, folks, you're joining us live. Please jump in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. And again, let AJ know your favorite color. We'd love to hear from you on that.
Yes.
As long as it's red, that's all he cares about.
That's it. Go
And
Utes.
be sure to jump into the comments, jump into the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are on the sliders we're talking about. We've got a full stack show today, and we love to get into it quickly here. But again, if you guys jump in the comments, let's jump into the chat. Let us know what your thoughts are. We'll be sure to cover it for sure. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get it kicked off here. Let's start with a little bit about the Utah Mammoth.
Let's do it.
All right, man. So when it comes to the Utah Mammoth, there was actually an article in the Salt Lake City Tribune titled, "Is it time to care more about the Utah Mammoth than you do about the Utah Jazz?" Now, this is by Gordon Monson, longtime columnist for the Salt Lake Tribune and also a local radio contributor. If you listen to local media at all, you've heard this guy's take on some things.
Lots of things over the years, too.
Yeah,
He's been
for
around
sure.
a long time, yeah.
He has. The article goes into how the most pro sports in Utah has been on a bit of a tailspin over the past several years. And it might be time to hop on the bandwagon and get behind a winning team in Utah, which is the Utah Mammoth. What do you think on this, AJ?
Well, I mean, to answer this question, you got to go back to the Arizona Coyote days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a team that, aside from the 50-win season that they had in like the 09 to 10 season, and then they reached the Western Conference Finals in 2012, this team was widely known as like a bottom-tier NHL franchise that was plagued with ownership issues. I mean, they were known to take contracts for salary cap purposes, and then, a couple of years ago, they had that final straw that was they put the team into a college arena that only had 4,600 seats, and that was kind of the final straw for the NHL. So 2 years ago, obviously, this team comes to Utah. The first move as Utah, at that time, the Utah Hockey Club, they draft Tij and Aginla. They name Clayton Keller the captain. Logan Cooley, Dylan Gunther come out firing. They look like future stars. Last year, they get Mikhail Sergachev in a trade. And all of a sudden, this bottom-tier franchise that was the Arizona Coyotes looks to have some promise. They go on to win 38 games. They barely missed the playoffs last year. And then you start fast-forwarding to this year, and Clayton Keller, Dylan Gunther are stars.
Mm-hmm.
Mikhail Sergachev is a top 15 in the league for scoring defenseman. Karel Vizmelka continues to be a key goaltender for this team with an .898 save percentage. And they add Mackenzie Weegar in the trade deadline. This team's got it cooking, right?
For sure, yeah.
They average sellout attendance for the last 2 seasons, which last year was like 11,000 or 10,000. This year it's like just over 11,000. This team is all of a sudden looking like something that it's worth every minute to watch them. Why wouldn't you support them, right? Now you go to just last week where they lock up a playoff spot. It's like this team's good. They have young talent. They've got some great draft prospects, and they just keep going. I mean, the Jazz have been bad. They've been really bad. They won 39 games in the last 2 years, and I'm a diehard Jazz fan for sure. But nobody wants to go out and watch a Jazz team lose and try to lose. It's been brutal. So my opinion is, if you're a Jazz fan, think about this. Go watch a team win, right? I'm not saying you got to abandon your Jazz fandom because I will never do that. But this team's got young talent. They got vets that add a ton of depth, a front office that's got a plan to keep moving this franchise forward. And you can tell that that the whole front office has a plan to make you watch every game by putting a great product on the ice every single night. So, with all that being said, I'm not saying you got to abandon the Jazz, but you should absolutely tune in and watch Utah Mammoth.
Yeah, and it's kind of. I think this article title is saying one thing, while the article is saying something different.
Yeah,
I don't think that this. And let's take a step back on that and let's say, okay, we're talking about the Jazz team. He's talking about a Jazz team that's trying not to win anymore, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the way it's been for like the last 3 seasons. Well, followers of Utah Jazz DNA, our Jazz channel, be sure to check out the link in the description down below. You know all about how that's all over now.
Yeah.
Regardless of whoever the Jazz draft this season, the tanking's done. You simply cannot go into another year, whether they want to or not, doing this again. Tanking is over for the Utah Jazz. It's just over.
Yeah.
Right. So that argument of, oh, hey, this is a team that wants to win versus a team that's trying to lose. That argument, I guess, over the last like 2 years, maybe if you posted this article last year, that would have made sense.
It actually makes sense at that point. Absolutely.
Yeah, but in this case, he doesn't, and then Gordon Martinson's understanding of MLS soccer is hilariously terrible. Like, it's actually a running joke. He used to have a show on 1280 The Zone called The Big Show, where it's literally a joke where Spence Checkers would ask him about soccer, and he would just make up his answer. Because he knows absolutely nothing about soccer. Right. So, he references the RSL in the team. And keep in mind, like, this team won a title back in 2009, which is the first and only professional title that Salt Lake has, by the way.
Yeah.
Is an MLS Cup. And don't get at me about the ABA Stars or, the Gulls
don't
or the
bring all that up in here.
Grizzlies
Yeah.
or the Trappers. You know exactly what I'm talking about. An actual major professional sport in the state of Utah. The only one we have is from RSL, and that happened in 2009. But, let's remember what was happening in Utah at that time. We had soccer fever.
Oh, yeah.
In Utah. You could not go into a bar in Salt Lake City without seeing a crap ton of RSL jerseys. You couldn't go to the Mountain America Expo Center out there, whatever it was called, without having that whole parking lot filled up with people who were going to the soccer game, right?
Yep.
Like, that was just like the soccer fever. Like, everybody, from that run, they were in the, postseason from that run all the way up to 2015. The lads did not miss a postseason that entire run.
Yeah.
From 2009 to 2015. Now, what happened at the start of the 2010 Jazz season? So right after they won that title, what happened? That's the 2010-2011
That's
season.
got to be the rebuild started right around then, didn't it?
That was the year we lost Jerry Sloan and the Tyrone Corbin era began. We lost Jerry Sloan. Darren Williams was traded after. And we were starting players that, I can't even name the starting 5 that the Jazz had at that point. We had a rookie. We had Gordon Hayward, who was a second-year player that year.
Yep.
But, yeah, dark days for the Jazz. Very, very true that was the case. And this is actually coming after them losing each round earlier than they did the year before in the playoffs before that.
Yeah.
So the Jazz were on a downtick, and we got this new soccer team. They just won a title. So that kind of, what am I talking about here? History is repeating itself.
Absolutely.
We're doing the exact same thing. And now RSL fans, you'll tell us in the comments for sure. You're probably already typing it. You're like, the RSL has had a bunch of ownership issues. They will sell off players without using that money to buy up new talent. I'm getting all that. I totally understand that. But even since, right now, they're on a 7-year straight playoff berth as a franchise.
Yeah.
Real Salt Lake is.
And right now, this minute, they're 6-1-1.
Right.
With 4 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw.
Yeah. So this team is cooking, and yes, it had some dark days.
They got a star player in Diego Luna who
Yes.
goes out there and just plays out of his mind. He just played for the U.S. national team.
Yeah, there's a bunch of rumors hearing that he might get poached from a Premier League team. So we'll see what happens there.
When you're that good, you're that good. Though.
Yeah.
He is one of the best players in the country.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But again, so same concept there. Like, you're focused on that and you're seeing that as a negative, but that is a team that holds a strong footprint coming into the Salt Lake market now, still to this day. And they're underneath the right ownership group now with the Millers, and they're going to start seeing some things changing. Like you said, they're already killing it this year.
Yeah.
So, but right after that happened, after that run, where they got the title, and then the Jazz had the down year. Well, then all of a sudden now the Jazz, we got Donovan Mitchell and we got Rudy Gobert, and those fans that were all in, that just kind of abandoned the Jazz for a while and went to go watch Real Salt Lake. Well, now they're back to being with the Jazz again because the Jazz are coming back around. Now, so again, these are very similar things that are happening for both franchises. So with the Mammoth, they are very exciting. They're the new team in Utah. They are picking up momentum for sure. But Utah will always be a place for the Utah Jazz.
Yes.
Real Salt Lake is a reliable, consistent presence in the MLS. Will hockey take over the Jazz in popularity in the state? I don't think so.
I agree. I don't see it passing.
But if the Mammoth lifts up the cup before the Jazz can get a title, that could easily change.
We actually did a video on this.
Yes, we have a video earlier on the channel about who wins first. And if that's the case, if the Mammoth win Stanley Cup before the Jazz win a title, I very easily can see this switch over to a hockey town versus a Jazz town.
It could take a real hard swing that way.
Yeah. But yeah, as it sits right now, I don't think that like the way the article's titled makes it very much sound like, hey, stop looking at the Jazz, start thinking about the Mammoth going forward. That's the way the title was. But when you break down the actual article, it's not really kind of worded that way at all.
Yeah.
So I just think, again, with Monson's lack of understanding of how Real Salt Lake has played over the last several years, being in the MLS Cup every single, season for the last 7 years and being on a 5-year run after they won the title, they've been here, but they've been kind of that distraction for when the Jazz are simply just not playing well, not pretending to play well. And I think that's just kind of what we're going through right now with the Mammoth as well. When the Jazz pull out of this, is the Mammoth still going to be as popular as they are? Absolutely. I don't think they're going to lose any momentum.
Right.
But that doesn't mean the Jazz are going to take a hit as far as the most popular team in the state.
And the best part is we have some great Jazz content coming up too.
Yeah. So be sure to stick around for that.
Yeah. And if you're watching on one of our other videos on Utah Mammoth, make sure you guys check out Utah Jazz DNA.
Link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the live stream too, by the way. I remember to put it in this week. It's great.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, we want to know from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Let us know what your thoughts are in regards to the Utah Mammoth. Do you think, based off of this article that we saw in the Trib there, do you think it's time to abandon the Jazz and go after and be all about the Mammoth? Or do you think like we are here and this is just a great, nice distraction this season from basically having to watch a terrible team just actively try to lose games,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no doubt about it.
We got a comment here from Triple J Jazz Forge. Utah will host a Stanley Cup before Adams Silver Cup. Are you talking about the Emirates Cup in the middle of the season?
Yeah.
Because even then, I don't.
No, I think he's talking about an NBA title.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Even those Jazz are 46-year-olds, even though the Jazz have a 46-year head start. Absolutely, man. Like there's a difference there, and we've talked about this on this channel, that this team is already a destination spot for free agents in hockey.
Yeah.
Which is something you can never say for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, players look forward to coming to play hockey here. Jazz only get players by trade.
And a lot of the times now during the LeBron empowerment era, they're blocking trades.
Yeah.
So, it's been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk some football, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, man. So there's a little bit of, let's do that. Oh, not that one. That one. No. There you go. All right, man. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah football DNA, as we're known. What we want to do is kind of do a quick, kind of a player profile here on Creed Whitmore. There's an article by Josh Furlong in KSL on KSL.com titled Utah receiver Creed Whitmore poised for a breakout season after a standout spring. This article goes into how the Mississippi transfer discusses and how well he was utilized last season under Coach Witt, after being one of the most consistent wide receivers this spring, and how they're thinking he should really have a breakout year this year.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. The thing is it's hard being 5'11.5" as a wide receiver in Division I college football playing in a Power 4 conference, right? He came to Utah last year. He had 2 seasons with Mississippi State where he had 11 receptions in 2023 and like 4 receptions in 2024. And then he made the decision to jump in the transfer portal. He transferred over to Utah. He had 12 receptions last year, which was, I mean, not a bad season. Obviously, it outperformed both of his seasons at Mississippi State. But the sophomore from Gainesville, he kind of admits that he was a little bit out of his element last year when he came to Utah. And the big reason he didn't see playing time last year was because he had some ball security issues. So
yeah, I like that line.
Yeah, ball security issues.
That's a great line from Whit right there.
Yeah. But that, I mean, that's tough, man. I mean, so now you get a change under the big headset, right? And with that change under the big headset comes the change at wide receiver coach. And when Scally brought back Coach Bump, this was kind of a great first step for Creed Whitmore. He was coached by Coach Bump at Mississippi State. And the new offense under Kevin McGivern, it's very widely expected that it's going to be much more pass heavy, right? So Creed was a 4-star recruit out of high school. I mean, he actually played quarterback in high school, had offers from Florida, Georgia Tech, Miami, Michigan, Penn State, Texas A&M. You get it. Lots of offers, right? I mean, this kid was highly recruited out of high school. So he's a talented kid, though. I mean, I watched some of his high school tape. He's got breakaway speed, great hands. So to see him already be a favorite target in spring for Devin Dampier and Bert Ficklin, I think he's absolutely going to get a shot to show what he can do. And when you have a kid this talented and hungry and willing to wait on the sidelines for your spot, because what do most kids do when they don't get playing time? They just transfer out.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the new motto of college football is you can't get it. You just take an opportunity, go down to, down a division in college football and go play every single game. But he waited till it's his turn. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't make the most out of it.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. You don't really see that a lot lately.
Absolutely.
That's kind of like an OG type, play there where you come in, you transfer from another school like Mississippi State, you come in and your first year, you don't see a lot of touches, which is really interesting because in this situation, Creed was in a position where there wasn't really, according to the KSL article, there wasn't really one that was a standout wide receiver number 1 within this team.
Yeah.
Right? So why he was underutilized, again, Coach Witt's line, ball security issues, as Coach Witt would say. Or is it simply just a lack of usage and a clear need where there wasn't really a top wide receiver number 1 that the article mentions? Which way are you kind of leaning? Do you think it was more of like, oh yeah, he doesn't like Coach Witt's way of handling things where like, okay, he's got ball security issues, like he can't hold it. Let's go ahead and just push him down the depth chart and let's use somebody else. Or is it?
I think last year the problem is they did have a breakout wide receiver who was sure-handed and had a ton of chemistry with Devin Dampier, and that was Ryan Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Right after a few games, it was just obvious that Devin Dampier was like, "That's my guy. If I see him even remotely looking open, he's going to take a shot." So, and then this year, this year obviously he has more of an opportunity. The only transfer wide receiver that I really believe that's going to compete with him is going to be Braden Pegan, and he's a great player that knows the offense. We just did a video about him a couple of weeks ago. He'll be right up there with him. And it's not like you only need one wide receiver on the team at any given point. So you got 2 guys that are solid, have great speed, good hands. This is what the Utes need to take this to the next level.
Yeah, see, there you go. See, Josh, that's what, if you ever need some help in correcting your article, obviously there clearly was a wide receiver 1 at the University of Utah, unlike what you said in your article here. So, AJ is available for consultation.
Absolutely.
Reach out to us at dnasportsrecap.com at gmail.com or whatever it is. We'll help you fact check your article there.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, we got a couple of comments here from Pacific Northwest Ute saying the diminutive wide receiver all saying, "Can you take me?" I want to see.
No, you got to sing it though.
No,
can you take me higher,
dude? Almost like, wow, nice.
You're welcome.
You got to sing with your chin though when you sing Creed.
Yeah,
he always sung with his chin, like his chin was like right on the microphone.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just couldn't watch that guy perform live because that drove me nuts.
Yeah,
I'm just like, dude, just sing into the microphone. You don't need to rest your chin on it. I want to see the passes by Whitmore off the screen. And he also has another comment here from too timidative wide receiver.
Same thing, but I want to see the passes by former high school quarterback Whitmore off the screen.
There you go. There you go. I like it. Yeah. Took me way too long.
Thank you so much for the comment. It made both of us laugh.
Yeah. It took me way too long to make the connection there between the name Creed and the band Creed. I just thought, wow. Darren, you need to.
Wow, Darren.
It's coffee time for sure.
As soon as I saw it pop up, that's why I started laughing. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. So
I was like, I'm going to have to sing this line. That's what's going to have to happen here.
Yeah. That's when it clicked in.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. But yeah, so another thing we want to talk about when it comes to the University of Utah is going to be, again, with spring camp coming to an end here this week, will be closed out by the time we speak to you guys next week on the University of Utah. We want to talk about the Forever 22 Fan Day. Now, we've talked about this on a previous episode where we discussed the fact that they're not having a spring game, which, again, the Forever 22 game was held in the honor of the late Ty Johnson and Aaron Lau.
Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe.
What did I say?
Ty Johnson and Aaron Lau.
Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe.
Nailed it. First time.
First time, every time. I think it auto-corrected me and put Lowe's there.
Lowe's.
Or Lau's on Aaron.
It's
but yeah, Ty Jordan and Aaron Lowe. In remembrance of their tragic passing is typically why they put it in their names, and it's held every year for them. They both wore the number 22. That's why it's Forever 22 game. And now we have Forever 22 Fan Day. What are your feelings on this, AJ?
This one hurts my soul, man. I feel like it's like a really, really big disappointment to move away from a spring game. I mean, like,
yeah, that's where the issue is, right? Like,
yeah,
they're still honoring Jordan and Aaron. They're still doing the coach charity thing for this one. They're still showing that respect for those guys and their tragic passing. It's the fact that we don't get the game.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I mean, the thing is like watching a team grow and, seeing your clips on social media and like watching them kind of mesh and learn to play. And then having the opportunity to spend the day at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Like that's a spring tradition, man, that like it hurts to just let that go.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I mean,
well, and there's also the avenue of the fact that there's people that had season tickets to the Utes for decades.
Yeah.
And now are completely priced out of games. The only ones they can go to was the one where it costs $22 a ticket.
Yeah.
Or whatever the price was for this game.
Yeah.
That was the only chance they got to go out there and watch it.
Absolutely.
And now they get like a fan day. Yeah, it's free and everything, but they don't get to watch a football game. It's just, I just don't like it. I understand why they're doing it. We talked about this last time. I just don't like it.
Yeah, no. I mean, because the best part about that game was it made that break from January to August like a little bit more bearable, right? Like knowing you're going to have a game, one singular game in April that you can go sit in your seats in Rice-Eccles and like do your thing. And I mean, now you're going to switch it to an event where it's like there's autographs and interactive drills for kids and a live interview from Morgan Scally. And it's like, that's the best you could come up with. Like, right. I get there's a reason to it, right? People leaving the program, people getting poached after watching a spring game and kind of balling out. But like, what if they just did a flag football game?
Yeah, something like that, where they just did something different, but it was a game on the field.
Let the guys go out, have fun. Let the fans come and watch, and then do your autograph signing and interactive drills and like all that Morgan Scally interview. Do it after. Have a flag football game where it's non-contact, but you can see the guys on the field in their jerseys. Maybe it's 4 10-minute quarters. Like nobody cares,
right?
But we want to go out. We want to go sit at Rice-Eccles and watch a game.
Oh yeah. And what if you did something like this? What if you had the team stood up against a different Utah team?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah.
What if the Forever 22 game was a flag football game against
the baseball team,
the Mammoth?
Oh, that would be even cooler.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? Like have the Utah Mammoth go up there and play a little flag football against the University of Utah.
Yeah.
Or heck, bring up the team from down south. Bring up the BYU guys and let them have a little
flag football, rivalry game. I mean, you'd sell every single ticket out of that stadium.
Yeah, you could price it normally.
Yeah,
I
mean, but even if you go $22 a seat for 50,000 fans, like massive revenue. I just feel like the University of Utah's marketing team really needs to hit us up because this is a great idea.
Utah Sports, DNA Sports Recap at gmail.com. Check us out.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be able to help you out, guys. You know, because I'm telling you, man, there's so much more to do with this. Just have a game. If you're worried about poaching, then cool. Don't have your best players out there.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's the best player. Put the fourth stringers in there. I still want to go watch football.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are on that. We got another comment here from channel legend Greg Hawkins. We would have said we haven't gotten any good news regarding college football for years and years now. So I'm not exactly surprised by the active worsening of the product. Yeah, and the worst part is people are still going to watch. That's the thing. Is like people are oh, they're going to start paying players. I'm not going to sit.
Yeah, it's not college football anymore.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, but people are still watching. People don't care. You know, it's not my money. They're still going. I'm not really seeing a drop off in anything.
No, college football is just a massive money-making machine now.
Yeah, it's not changing. And the schools don't have to pay now they're paying players like because of the not because of the NIL thing, but like the whole like pool thing that they're doing.
Profit sharing. And
Profit,
that kind of
that thing. They are technically paying the players now, but it's just a little difference. The game has changed quite a bit, and like I said, man, these money making machines are just they're pricing people out, man. Last time I was at Rice Eccles, I think I was paying $7 for a soda, and I'm just like, this is a bit insane, you know. If you guys want to make money, like just start selling beer, like.
It's a great idea.
Just start selling beer.
I'm all for some beer.
I think that's what the fund needs to do first. Is that fund needs to go up to the hill, and lobby for some beer in the stadiums, and then that'll take care of your profit issue altogether.
Yeah.
Just done. Just done after that. Again, folks, we want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to what we've talked about for the University of Utah football team. What do you think about Creed Whitmore? Are you expecting a breakout season from him? And what are your feelings about the Forever 22 fan day? Are you going? Are you planning on going? It's the 18th. Let us know. We'd love to see. Take some pictures. Send it to us on Instagram. We'd love to see it. Tag us on Instagram. We'd love to see it. So let us know.
Yep.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and pivot over and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz.
Let's do it.
Still trips me out that it's purple now. I keep skipping past it every single time when it's purple. All right, folks. Well, again, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. And again, if you're watching in our live stream, we do this every Wednesday at 7:30. If you're watching this on our live stream after the fact, or you're listening on podcast, we live stream this every Wednesday at 7:30. And today, 7:30-ish.
7:30-ish.
Yeah.
It depends on what we start talking about pre-show and whether we need to delay 1 to 2 minutes to make sure we get through our topic.
Very hot topic pre-show today, which was the moon landing, real or fake, which was a lot of fun.
Leave us a comment. We want to know your guys' opinion on the moon landing.
Yeah, we pivoted over to the pyramids after that.
Yeah, we were all over the place.
It was great. And then we looked up, we're like, oh, we're 3 minutes past. We better get going.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
It was great. It was great.
We do this because we actually are friends.
Yeah, believe it or not. Yeah.
Yeah.
He puts up with me, believe it or not. All right. I love this here. Name, image,
and logger.
Pacific Northwest Ute knows how to throw in the comments,
Dude,
man.
it's so much more fun when he joins the show.
Image, and logger. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So I don't know about you, AJ, but I am so glad that this basketball season is finally over. You know,
just take a deep breath and enjoy that mediocrity should be done with now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's actually past us at this point.
Yeah.
It's in the rear view mirror. Watching 10-day contract players is gone. And
speaking of which, boy, did we go out with a funny one in a typical Utah type fashion.
Absolutely.
AJ. So we had two players on April 10th rack up triple doubles between Bez Mbang and John Conchar, respectfully. Mbang scored 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. And Conchar had 11 points, 11 assists, and 10 rebounds, which, by the way, AJ, was his second consecutive game having a triple-double.
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ, this was a blowout win against the Grizzlies. We won 147 to 101. This is this is what the problem with playing 10-day contract guys and playing guys that gave them a 10-day contract and you kept them on for the rest of the year just so somebody could be out there.
Yeah.
These guys are playing for contracts. They were not losing that game.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They were given everything, man. Like these guys are out there, like you said, they're playing for contracts. Like this isn't a game to them.
So I don't know who decided not to tell these people, hey, we are not supposed to, like, we lost a 10% chance of getting a top 3 pick by winning this game.
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. By the way, John Conchar has easily been my favorite player to watch the last half of the season. The dude he's just so consistent, man. It's insane. But obviously, which this all tracks because it happens to a team when both teams aren't trying to win a game, right?
Yeah.
The danger, AJ, is that these 10 guys are, looking for their next contracts. They're going out there to play. The Grizzlies also had somebody scoring a triple-double on their side.
Yep.
Which again, they weren't trying to win this game, which is totally a joke. That was, Jemiah Mashek. I can't say his name right.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down.
I've heard it both ways.
I've heard it both ways.
And he was one of the 2 players that also played all 48 minutes for the Grizzlies. They had 2 players that played the whole game and 3 players that had DMP coach's decisions on their team. Dude, this was a record.
The Grizzlies tried harder to lose.
Yes. They understood the assignment.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're setting NBA records, there's been no team in baseball history to have 3 players.
In baseball history.
Sorry.
That's even more impressive.
It's more impressive. In NBA's history, where we've had 3 players score a triple-double in the same game.
Right. Especially 3 bench players.
Yes. Which is absolutely insane.
Yeah. Leave it to the Jazz, man. You know what I mean? Like, Bez this dude came out and balled out for 2 10-day contracts was a thing.
Yeah.
And then he signed a non-guaranteed 2-year deal. Which paid him like $73,000 to complete this season, and then the team's got control over him for the next 2. So like he, as far as Bezmang's future, he's guaranteed to be on the summer league roster. I doubt he has a place on the full-time roster next year. That's very limited. But very impressive. You know what I mean? To come out and just play like he did, he probably earned himself at least another 10-day. I mean, he earned himself a contract, right? And it's a $2 million contract.
Did he really though? Like, because that's kind of what I'm pointing at here. Like, you had 2 teams where both of them were actively trying to lose, throwing out a bunch of 10-day contract guys that don't belong in the NBA, and because someone throws up a triple-double, that I don't see
I just think he earned his contract in the 2 10-day contracts, right? Like
sure.
Because the guy can play, and he did have some good games, and he's someone that you might want to take another further look at to stack out the end of that bench. You know what I mean? That can come out and maybe produce. Like this game specifically, I don't know if there's any value to that because again, 2 teams trying to lose in this game. Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about. This is why these things like these records that were broken over the last couple of seasons, ever since Victor Wembanyama been part of this league, where we have a third of the league trying to actively lose games, are any of these records or any of these things even matter?
Yeah.
I mean,
NBA
record, who cares? No one, like, that game was a complete joke,
Yeah, it was funny because the Jazz went from like a 40-year streak of no triple doubles to like 8 or 10 this year.
Yeah. So like you're like, all right, what's the deal there? Like,
yeah.
So those triple doubles basically have no value, but they're in the record books.
They are.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. We got another comment here from Car Wash Channel saying, I gave up on the Jazz. They just tank. Yeah.
Well, good news.
Good news.
They're done.
It's over.
It's over. They're done tanking.
No more tanking.
Yeah.
Car Wash Channel.
Yeah.
You heard it here first.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's been pretty ridiculous here. And the Jazz season is over. They had a record of 22-60 this year, but let's go ahead and put that officially behind us.
Yeah.
This is the last time we're talking about last season.
Yep.
Because
it's the future. Here, moving on.
We are talking about looking forward.
Yep.
With that said, there's a lot of things that are going on in Jazz land before the Jazz lace it up again next fall. We have the draft lotto. We have the actual draft itself. We have Summer League, fall camp. But what we want to do is we want to set a bold expectation. Well, one of us wants to set a bold expectation for this season, for this team next season. AJ, what do you got for us?
I want you to just put on your picturing glasses, okay? I want you
Okay.
to stare into the camera, and I want you to imagine this starting lineup walking out onto the court.
Okay.
Keontae George, Ace Bailey, Larry Markkinen, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Walker Kessler. The smallest player of those is Keontae George at 6'4". Ace is 6'9", Laurie 7'1", Triple J's 6'10", Walker 7'2". That's a big lineup, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
There is a ton of defensive effort from 4 of those 5 players. The one weak link, who's a serviceable defensive player, is Keontae George. Made strides this year playing defense. Okay? Everyone that I just named adds scoring in different ways. Key shoots a 3-ball. Ace can shoot it from anywhere on the floor, just like Laurie. Triple J. Walker's a down low threat that pulls gravity down to the center. You can't just leave him. They'll lob it over your head. He'll dunk it on you, similar to Rudy Gobert style. And then we've got some great young role players that can just really fill in off the bench, and they all do different things. It's not like you're going to, you don't ever swap 5 for 5, right? So you can put Flip out there and he can add a different element to that 4 or 5 position. You can put Cody Williams out there for Larry Markkinen and he adds a different element. Bryce Sensabaugh, potentially Yusuf Nurkic. All these guys played a ton of minutes. Potentially. There's another video on that. All these guys played a ton of minutes though. And they can use this offseason to get some chemistry with the starters that are going to be on the floor for the Jazz next year. And I think that adds a ton of value to get things turned around. I mean, you're going to put a much better product on the floor next year, and every single game is going to be playing for your career, right? Because the Jazz, you can't go out there and just keep losing next year. Will Hardy's going to coach them to win. These players are going to go out there to play to win. The 3 games that we saw with Laurie and Triple J, we only got to see them for 3 quarters, but those games were fun to watch, right? When you saw those guys out there, we could score, we could defend, and we were doing that without Walker Kessler out there. But we were shutting teams down. I mean, those guys are coming out of the game with 10, 15-point lead, and we'd still turn it around and lose in the 4th quarter. So turning this team around to make the playoffs next year is a huge step. And the milestone, though, for a great basketball team, especially off of a 22-52 season, 22-62,
22-60.
22-60. That makes more sense. 82 games, 50 wins. That's the milestone, right? 50 wins for a Jazz team next year, I think, is absolutely achievable. This team has enough talent on the floor. They've got enough good players that saw enough minutes last year. Health, obviously, that's always something you're going to look at, right? But what this team has on paper to start next season with is something that could be really special. I think the playoffs is an expectation. It's not just a wish. It is, these players are expecting to make the playoffs next year. So if they go out there, play some meaningful basketball, they have an opportunity to get the Delta Center rocking for this Jazz team, just like it has been for the Mammoth over the last couple of months.
Nice.
Well, let's hear it, Darren. I know you got something to say.
I said you wanted to set an expectation.
Yeah.
That expectation is 50 wins for next season. Do I think that that's possible for this Jazz team, or do I think it's likely? Nope, not a chance. Not even close. Everything you even just said it, and you hit it nail on the head. Everything is on paper and in theory. Triple J and Markkinen were on the floor for 3 quarters together. Very limited minutes.
3 quarters in 3 games.
Yeah, 3 quarters in 3 games.
Yeah.
3 games, 3 quarters. And, there's nothing really you can glean from that. There wasn't anything that was really like you could take away these guys didn't have, there wasn't enough minutes on that to really give you anything to get excited about. It's not like there was, like they both scored 35 points and had 10 rebounds, there wasn't anything that said, okay, hey, this is a duo. They are going to play well together. We don't know how this team's going to play together. Everything on paper looks good, but we have a bunch of variables that we don't even know yet. Like, first of all, the draft pick, who's starting? Is Ace starting? Is the new draft pick going to start? Do they trade for more? They're capable. Do they trade for a more capable depth piece? Or do they trade for, do they trade their depth? Do they trade their depth for a more capable backup, or do they trade their draft capital for that? Like, where's that going to come from? Larry Markkinen staying healthy, air quotes. And again, you can take that either way. For the last 3 seasons, he's been injured, whether it's a real injury or a not a real injury. One thing you can't argue is that you can't sit for 3 seasons on the bench and come out and play 35 minutes, 82 games a year. It's just not going to happen, especially as he's getting older. So we don't know what his health is going to be. And probably the biggest question that this team is facing, and it's going to tell you, basically just how good Will Hardy is. The biggest question for me is going to be, say whatever you want about this team, but for 3 straight years, this has been a losing team. Your culture is what you are. This team has had a losing culture for the last 3 seasons. No one can deny that. They are a losing culture team. It's going to be up to Will Hardy to be able to flip that in one summer and make this team go from a losing culture to a winning culture. So that's my argument for the team, right? That's why I think that team doesn't stand a shot to win 50 games, just for the team's aspect.
Yeah. The
other real dagger for this one is that this team is in the West, AJ. This team is in the West. This conference is stacked. You've got OKC. They're not going anywhere. You have the Spurs that are going to have, they're going to continue to get better. Victor Wembanyama is probably going to be an MVP next year, front runner for MVP next year. The Houston Rockets fell off because they didn't have their best starting point guard in what's his name, but they're going to be really good next year. You also have Denver, who isn't going anywhere. Lakers are going to rebuild around Luka and Austin Reeves, with LeBron either leaving or staying. Like, that team's going to get better. Minnesota Timberwolves aren't going anywhere. That team's also going to get better.
They're a little bit old.
Yes, but again, this is a team that's going to they probably are going to do more when it comes to a point guard and acquiring some talent, and they have a lot better chance.
They have a point guard. They got Anthony Edwards, but
he's not a point guard, is he?
Yeah, technically.
I think he's like a point forward kind of.
He does it all, so.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
But my point is that even that, and you know that the Golden State Warriors are going to reload around Steph for one last push there. You're going to see people like the Greek Freak coming over and playing either LA or Golden State. You're going to see the West get even stronger. And yes, the Utah Jazz have never really put their full force together to try and win with this roster. Are they going to be a playoff team? 100% agree with you. Don't see any way that's not going to happen. I don't even think they're going to be a play-in team, AJ. I think that they're going to be, in that 6th spot.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance to be in that 6th spot. I do. Do I think they're actually going to hit 50 wins? Not a chance. Not in the West. If they're in the East, maybe, but not in the West.
I think the big thing that your comment on the team is can Will Hardy turn this team from a losing culture to a winning culture?
That's one of them.
One of them, right? But I just want to comment on that one because the winning, the changing them from a winning to a losing culture, I think he's already been coaching them to a winning culture. I think how the Jazz have been trying to lose is by putting players out there that aren't as talented as the other players on the other side of the floor.
Yeah, agreed.
Quite obviously, right? So I think he's already got the groundwork laid for having a winning culture. You've already got players that are talented enough to and want to win and are striving to winning. And I think that drives this team even further because they have something to prove at this point, right? They want to show the world that they're not a 22-win team.
That's a good variable right there, that the players are going to have to have a buy-in there. But again, there's just too many things like that. When a team has a losing culture, it has a losing culture. And I'm not saying it's impossible for Will Hardy not to turn it around, but I definitely think it's going to be something that he's not just going to be like, oh, wow, why are these guys fumbling in the 4th quarter late? Why are we blowing leads? You can go back to the fact for the last 3 seasons, your star players haven't been playing in the 4th quarter.
Right.
And they're going to have to figure out how to close out games.
Yeah.
And that's going to take some time. And over that time, those are going to stack up some losses. And you're going to need to have some early onset wins like this Jazz team has always had to get to 50 wins.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, for that reason, I think that's going to be a problem.
I agree.
And then the health issue. Like Larry Markkinen, again, that's an issue.
I think the big thing with the health issue is I think you find out, and this is kind of, I think, what the NBA is looking forward to, too. How many games does Larry Markkinen actually play next year? Does he play 60, 65?
I think he plays 65 games. but he's going to be limited on either that or he's not playing 30 minutes a game.
Right.
Because the problem is he's actually been hurt. He has had actual injuries.
Very minor
Some
injuries.
of them. Some of them have been actual injuries. Right? The back issue's been an actual issue, right?
But that was last season though. This year he
but
didn't
keep
have
in
as
mind
many.
he's sitting on the bench for 3 straight years.
They got him a comfy chair, man.
You can't just come right off of being on the bench for 3 straight years and go out there and ball out of your mind where you're another year older. You know, it's just that fact of him coming in and being that same all-star player we had when he was an all-star starter that first year. He's not going to develop into that right off the gate.
I would agree with that if he wasn't a professional athlete.
There are plenty of professional athletes that are his size that aren't.
You act like he's not in the gym training every single day and going through workaround every single day. And
every NBA player is, AJ.
But that's what I'm saying. And every one of these guys can jump back in and ball out.
He had issues with injuries in Chicago and in Cleveland. He had injury issues before he came here. He came here and had an amazing season where injuries weren't an issue, and he became an all-star starter, which I'm going to keep that because he was an all-star starter. You can't take that away from him. But ever since then, after he signed that contract, we've asked him to sit, and he's been sitting for real injuries and not real injuries.
Right.
You can't just throw that guy back out there and say he's going to put up 30. He's going to put up 35 minutes a night, 80 games a season. You know, will he put up 28 minutes a game, 70 games that season? Sure. You know, will he do 35 minutes on 60? Sure. But you can't expect him to ball out to the expectation that he had that first year that he was here.
I think the best part on the flip side to that, though, is you have enough young guys that have got enough minutes this year that he doesn't need to play 35 minutes a night.
I agree with that 100%.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
that is the good part, because you have a Cody Williams that has a similar build, similar skill set. You have Bryce Sensabaugh, you have Flip, you have some of these guys that have young legs that just played a whole NBA season that can go out there, and you don't have to run Laurie for 40 minutes a night for this team to be successful, because he can come off for 3 or 4 minutes. And if you can get this team to a spot where cohesion feels more natural, they're still going to be successful, right? Yeah. You can take your lead from 10 points down to 5, put Laurie back in there, and still win the ball game by 1.
Yeah. Again, my argument is not that they're not going to make it to the playoffs. My argument is not that they're not going to be a good play. I just think there's enough variables here that are unknown that are going to keep that team from winning 50 games.
Yeah. Well, we want to know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Can the Jazz win 50 next year?
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome, man.
Yeah.
We have a number on the docket here that we're going to be tracking all of next year. Do the Jazz make it to 50 wins? It's something we're going to check in and keep us honest on that one, because we want to make sure you do. Let's hit some of these comments before we do our last subject here on the Jazz here. We have this one from Car Wash Channel. Jazz about to fill up the tank on Ace Bailey Mobile. Absolutely, dude. He had a great season. Only going to get better. I like this one. Jazz more like Blues. Yeah, I love that. Everybody's like, the Utah Jazz. There's no jazz music in Utah. And I'm like, yeah, and show me where all the lakes are in LA. You know? So it's always been one of my favorite ones. But yeah, I like the wordplay there. Great on that, Greg. Appreciate that. Now we also have another one here from Greg Hawkins. No one wears Jazz gear anymore. People would probably make fun of you if they saw you wearing it out and about. Yeah, there's a little bit to that. Like if you go out with a Jazz jersey on or a Jazz hat, you're gonna see that whole, you know.
I wear it all the time.
Yeah, you're gonna get that like, oh, they suck now, you know. Like I got that once at the gym. I wore a Jazz shirt to the gym, and someone made a comment like, "Are they even a team anymore?" I'm just like,
how dare you?
Yeah, you can tell that was one of the casual fans.
You know what I would have said? Check out Utah Jazz DNA. I can show you about it.
Oh yeah, I had him a business card. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we also have another one here from. Maybe you know how we're saying this. Is it supposed to be Jazz Force, or it's supposed to be saying JJ Jazz Forge? Let me know what we're supposed to be doing there. But 50 wins might be quite a leap for 1 year. I'm thinking more like 40. And see, I'm kind of right there with you, man. I'm actually thinking a little higher. I'm thinking 45 wins. 45 to 47. I just don't think they get to 50. Greg Hawkins. This one's for Triple J Jazz Force. What are you talking about? Sitting in Jazz boxers, Ostertag slippers, and nothing else. I love it, dude. I love it. I love the Ostertag play there. Throwing it back.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. It's not. Oh, this is great. It's not how marketing starts. It's how he finishes. I love it. I love it. That's great, man. That's great. All right. So what we want to do here, guys, we want to go ahead and do just kind of. We wanted to do our own little tankathon, our own little pre-draft. We're gonna do a draft simulation, right? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and get the old tankathon up, and then over here we're gonna do. Was it this one?
That's it.
That's the one. Okay. So what we have here is we have on our other screen here, we have tankathon.com. What we're going to do is we're going to run the simulator once, and wherever the Jazz land, we're going to say who the Jazz are going to draft at that position.
Yep.
Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's do it. Come over here and simulate lottery.
Oh, my God.
What? What?
Hey, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Okay, well, I'm glad I did all this research for the other 9 picks.
Yeah, that was easy.
Okay, let's do this. Number 1 overall pick. Who are you taking?
If Jazz pick number 1 overall, I can tell you who I want them to take, and I can tell you who they're going to take. I would like them to take Darren Peterson.
Okay.
The 6'6" guard. He's the most gifted scorer. He's a fantastic shot maker. This guy, great pickup. You got a little bit of concerns with his health, natural skill set, but like he is prototypical. That's who I would like to see the Jazz take. If the Jazz get number 1 overall, guaranteed 100% chance they're taking AJ Dybantsa.
Oh yeah, AJ Dybantsa.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, and that's who I have them taking if they get the number 1 overall pick.
Yep. Me too. Absolutely.
He's the next KD.
Yeah.
Without a burner.
Mm-hmm. KD without a burner. And he's been on the Jazz payroll for the last year anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Probably longer.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, all right. Well, what are the odds that we get that one, the number 1 overall? That's kind of
That's really funny, actually.
That is very funny.
I was sure it was going to be like 3, 4. We had some conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, okay. So let's go into it a little bit though. So the Jazz take AJ Dybantsa at number 1.
Right.
Who do you think Sacramento takes at number 2?
Oh, easily Darren Peterson.
See, I could see Sacramento. I don't know if they have as much need for Darren Peterson.
Well, they got rid of what's his name? They traded him to San Antonio.
De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, they traded Fox, their other star guard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe Darren Peterson, but I don't know. I mean, I could see them. No, I mean, I guess maybe I don't think they take Cam Boozer at 2. I think you go Darren Peterson. I think you're right.
Yeah, because they have what's his name, the guy who like ruined Kessler's year 2, still there.
Domantas Sabonis.
Yeah, that dude. I freaking hate that dude.
I don't like Sabonis either.
It's kind of a jackwagon.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Sabonis, I think they have him there. And again, if you're taking the top 5, you're expecting these guys to be a starter. So
absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, so Memphis. Okay, so we got Utah Jazz taking AJ number 1. We both agree on that. Again, you just with his ceiling, are you going to start playing? You're gonna. That's perfect for for Larry Markkinen, because then you're only playing him 25 minutes a game.
That Dybantsa is a good pick for that reason.
Yeah,
he's going to get plenty of developmental minutes. He's going to be playing with veteran players that can teach him the game at a much faster pace. You're on a team that's trying to win basketball games.
There are 3 positions you could throw him in there. 3 players that are starters you could throw AJ in over. And honestly, I don't know, dude. Would you start him over? Who would you start him? Because you're not starting him in a power forward because you just trade.
He's the number 1 over pick. He's starting over Ace Bailey for sure.
Yeah, but he's not going to be a number 2. Like, he's too big to be a number 2. Do you move Larry Markkinen to the 2?
No, he's 7'1".
But he's the 3. So
you got a big lineup.
AJ Dybantsa did lead the nation in scoring this year. Did set the record there for scoring. So maybe you put him at the 2? Question mark? Like I don't know, man.
I don't know, Darren.
You play him though. You play him. Yeah, the next coming of KD. Without the burner,
you just put him out there.
He's starting. That's what happens.
He's smaller than KD. I mean, KD is like 7 foot though.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think that there's so much potential there, dude. So much potential. Like easily going to be, as long as he stays healthy, Hall of Fame all the way.
If the Jazz get 1 overall, it's Dybantsa.
It's Dybantsa for sure. So then we got Memphis at 3, going up 3 spots. So what do you have them taking?
I could see them taking Boozer.
Yeah, Boozer. They lost Triple J.
Yep, they still got John Morant. Yeah, I mean that. Boozer's that replacement guy for Triple J.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a perfect fit. And if you're Memphis moving up 3 spots, you're totally happy taking he just won the Naismith and the AP Player of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't love his comparisons to Sabonis and Kevin Love, but
yeah, me either.
He's a really talented offensive player. He's not going to be the defensive player that Triple J was, but you take Boozer for sure at 3.
Yeah. Do you think Brooklyn goes with Caleb Wilson at North Carolina?
I think that's probably the safest bet at 4, for sure. I mean, they have some good guards there. It's not like they're going to be looking to take a guard.
Right.
Yeah, I think for sure Caleb Wilson.
So does Washington take our boy Kingston Flemings? Oh, sorry, Keaton Weegar.
Wagler, yeah.
Keaton Wagler. Sorry, not Keaton
I
Weegar.
think Wagler could go
Keaton
at
Wagler.
5.
I think he's going at 5.
To Washington, that's probably a nice pickup too.
Yeah. I think Kingston's going to Indiana.
Yep. Well, that's actually going to be to the Clippers.
Oh, so that's the Clippers pick.
Yeah, because if Indiana moves up to 4, they
That's
send
right.
it to the Clippers.
That's right. So, okay. Yeah, man. Wow. That's interesting. So then the rest of it would be Darius Acuff Jr. Actually, hang on a second. Wouldn't he go? Like, this guy's shooting up the draft boards. We see him being that low?
Wagler? Or
No, Acuff Jr. We see him being at the 7 spot in this draft.
I think we'll find out more about Acuff when we start doing some of these pre-draft workouts.
Yeah, probably.
You'll see more how these guys perform in some of these is just going to tell a whole lot more.
For sure.
So,
but yeah, I just think that's hilarious. I think we don't touch it because that's just going to send some good juju out there.
yeah, let's do it.
Let's just leave that.
Yeah.
Just leave that there. But yeah, we want to know what you think, folks, when it comes to that.
We'll take it. Jazz
Yeah.
get the number 1 overall pick.
Jazz get number 1 overall pick. We'll take it. AJ Davensa all the way.
Yep.
We'll take it. Let us know what you guys think there.
Funny.
That wrecked that whole thing. We had like a whole segment we were going to do.
Yeah, we're like, there's no way they're going to.
So we
But
brought
I mean,
it
it's
and
just
then
a
boom, Jazz
simulator.
get 1. That's great. All right, folks. Again, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below on anything we talked about today when it comes to the Utah Jazz. Again, what are your expectations for next year? Where do you think, or where do you hope the Jazz land in the draft this season? This summer. We want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below.
Do it.
All right, let's go ahead and get into a little bit about Major League Baseball.
Heck yeah.
All right, man. So, AJ, you're a Braves fan.
I am.
Yeah, so the Atlanta Braves, led by the GM, Alex Anthopoulos, aggressively signed their young core talent players to long-term contract extensions early in their careers.
Yes.
Right? And often before, or during their first couple of years, before they're even arbitrarily eligible, the strategy's proven for different reasons there. And this is something that the Braves have been doing for quite a long time. I think you have a couple examples of this.
Oh, we got multiple examples, dude. And it's funny because I don't think I realized that they'd done that with this many players. So in 2019, the Braves signed 2 players to long-term contracts before they hit arbitration. That was Ronald Acuna Jr. That's Mr. Stolen Bases equals MVP. Shirt on its way.
Check it out for sure.
Yeah. And then Ozzy Albies. So Acuna in 2019 signed an 8-year deal worth $100 million. That's 1 year after this guy comes into the league. And then they signed Ozzy Albies to a 7-year deal worth $35 million. Same year. Ozzy's 21 when he signs this contract. Right. So he's only been in the league a couple years. And then fast forward a couple years, 2022, they trade for Matt Olson and then sign him to an 8-year contract worth $168 million, which was the largest in Braves history in 2022. They bought out his arbitration years and obviously a few of his extension years with that contract, signing him through 2030. Then they do the same thing with Spencer Strider that year, sign him to a 6-year, $75 million contract with an option for his 7th year, which would make his total contract value $92 million. At that time, the largest contract for a pitcher with less than 1 year of service time.
Wow.
2023, the Braves added again, Austin Riley, loses his arbitration case, where
Okay, well, this is different. He made it to arbitration, though.
made it to arbitration. He loses it, and then the Braves go on to sign him to a 10-year, $212 million extension. So, you guessed it, largest contract in team history at that time, 1 year later.
You guys had Freddie Freeman on your team. All these contracts should not have been the biggest when you got a guy like Freddie Freeman on your team.
Yeah. And
anyway.
And that puts Riley through contract through 2023. And then they signed Michael Harris to an 8-year, $72 million contract. So the Braves got a bunch of these players, and it's all their core players too, right? Like this is the guys that you turn on Braves baseball, and that's who it is. That's who you're watching. And these are the players you love to watch. Like as a Braves fan, I mean, Ozzie Albies been great, but you can feel more of these contracts coming. I mean, they got Drake Baldwin right now, who just won National League Rookie of the Year.
Super cool.
Playing out of his mind. He's got one of these big contracts coming.
Next year.
I mean, they're going to sign him to a 10-year, $150 million contract or whatever it turns out to be. And they've done it so smart because they front load all these contracts where they're paying them $7-8 million a year for their first couple of years, and then they slowly gross it up, and then by the time they're done with it, they pay them $23 million, and
which would be so far below market value. It's insane.
Ridiculously below market value at that point. I mean, that Ozzie Albies contract, that feels like you stole him for that. 7 years, $35 million, $5 million a year is what they pay Ozzie Albies.
Yes. Yeah, that's gotta be like, oh my gosh, dude.
But the kid's 21 years old. He's played baseball for 3 seasons and gets a 35. Are you going to say no to it? You have no idea what the rest. And Albies' contract is fully guaranteed.
If I was Ozzie Albies, I would have said no to that contract. 100%. You got to bet on yourself, dude. Like arbitration, 2 years of arbitration, and you make that entire contract. When you were the best second baseman in baseball.
Right.
Like, come on. Ozzie Albies, no, I would not sign that contract. But then again, like to him, that's like
generational money.
Yeah, and to anybody else practically. But especially to somebody like that, Ozzie Albies, that's going to be like, he's going to be like, what else do I need after that, right? I think that's something that Acuna actually said after he signed his contract, like, how much money do I actually need?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the reason why I brought this up and the reason why I asked you to kind of go through that is there's obvious reasons why they do this, right? The strategy for this is basically giving that team cost certainty and guaranteed financial security for the players.
Yep.
When they're young, they don't know if they're going to make it to arbitration healthily. And if they do, are they going to win or are they going to lose? Like, how well are they going to be playing this way? That money is guaranteed. But really for the owners, it kind of, and the teams themselves, it lets them know these are what we have on the books for the next 10 years. And we know when these players are becoming eligible, we're going to be getting them into steal.
Yeah.
So very high value contracts, easily traded, if they wanted to,
Because the AVs aren't crazy high.
No, the AV is great. That's some of the Braves examples. What we've been seeing over the last couple of years, AJ, is like this is getting a really crazy.
Yeah.
So we got Jackson Chourio, December of 2023. He signed an 8-year, $82 million contract, which is the largest ever given to a player before he's ever made a debut, right? So Jackson Chourio, before he ever made a debut with the Brewers, signed an 8-year, $82 million contract, set a record. And then you had Colt Emerson from the Seattle Mariners. He signed an 8-year contract back in March, worth $95 million a year, despite having 0 days of service time in Major League Baseball. Cooper Pratt from Milwaukee Brewers also signed in March 2026. He secured an 8-year, $50 million deal. That deal doesn't sound great. That's like a $7 million contract every year for an infielder, your top prospect. Like, I don't know. I think that one's kind of like
Pretty sure that's
Ozzie
more
Albies
like
there.
$5 million a year.
Yeah, at that point you're like, not great.
That's an Ozzie Albies contract, man.
Yeah, so you're kind of wondering what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then the biggest one that we've heard so far, and we'll get to another one here, but the one that jumped out to me the most was recently by the Pittsburgh Pirates. These guys have Paul Skeens on their team.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Skeens is on their team.
Yeah.
Reigning Cy Young Award winner. But no, they give Connor Griffin. He signed a 9-year, $140 million contract before he ever made his MLB debut. And then today we had Kevin McGonigal, the professor. For those of you who know, 17 games into his MLB career, signing an 8-year, $150 million deal with the Detroit Tigers. This is getting crazy, dude. Like, there is so much of this. Now, again, like we talked about, there's cost certainty and savings for the teams, right? There's reasons why they do this. You prevent future free agency. I think there's kind of like a little, service time manipulation. You don't have to worry about that anymore because you got a guaranteed contract. Like as a player, you don't have to worry about them keeping you down in the minors so they can get an extra year of control. There's a whole bunch of that stuff going on. But to me, man, none of that explains why this is happening so much this season. Is it just the impending lockout that everybody's talking about for why we're seeing so much of this year?
I think lockout has something to do with it, and I think it is trying to keep up with the Joneses, and the Joneses are the Dodgers.
Okay.
I mean, you think about that though. Like what they're trying to do is lock up players early, get them under team control for as long as they can. It's pretty much all of these teams are making their bets early, pushing the chips in, locking them down, because if you push them in and you win, you reap the rewards, right? And if not, how much risk is there really for a team when you've got a player that's on a 5-year AAV annual contract?
5-year AAV?
Sorry. $5 million a year AAV contract. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Now, at the contract, it's $17 million. Obviously, there's a little bit more risk there, but there's a reason, because you have a player that you felt that was worth the risk to reward on this player was a little bit higher. They've obviously proven something to you in 12 games or whatever that might be. So I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think them doing this with these players, I think it helps players know that they can go out there, play in 10 games, and win a life-changing contract.
So they're gonna go for it.
Yeah. They're gonna go. You're gonna get maximum effort from players. Where, if you go out there and you totally tank it in your first 10 games, But now, if you go out there and you ball out in your 10 games, you got a chance to win life-changing money.
Yeah, and some of these prospects that aren't even in the league, haven't been to the league yet and signed these contracts, they have a slow start, doesn't matter. They're guaranteed their money anyway.
Exactly.
So they're not really going to worry about that. You want to hear my conspiracy theory on this one?
I would love to.
I think this is a play by the owners to reset the market. If all the future talent is underneath guaranteed contracts where everybody's making less than $20 million a year, when that next contract comes up and they're making, they're like, oh, now we're going to pay you $45 million a year instead of the $50 million, $60 million players, $60 million a year these players are getting now. Yeah. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to say, hey, we're going to give you some money up front.
It's a great point, though.
And then the next contract, you're not going to get as much as for example,
like we already agreed to pay you $100 million.
Yeah. So your next contract where you sign for another 8 years and your AAV is $40 million. That's pretty good, right? That's a $200 million contract.
But also you reset the arbitration too.
There's no arbitration because.
Well, but what I'm saying is
arbitration
values are now driving down way further because you have all these players playing in positions
based off of what they're making,
based on what all these other top players are making, and their AAVs are lower because they're backloading contracts.
Yeah, because it'd be based off of cost
I think it's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think that's what's going on here. Because the CBA is going to come in, something's going to change about it, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to reset the market, I think. And players aren't going to say no to $100 million before they even enter the majors.
Absolutely not.
I don't know who would.
No.
It would take somebody like a Juan Soto or a Ohtani or a Judge to be like, yeah, no, I'm going to free agency. This is, I'm that good. I know it.
Yeah.
Or a freaking Tarek Skubal who basically just walks in with his 2 Cy Youngs back to back and be like, you're going to pay me what I want.
You'll pay me this or I'll find somebody that will.
Yeah. Or, well, doesn't really have a choice there, but he I don't know. If he doesn't agree to it, could he just sit out the year? No, he couldn't. He has to play.
Oh, because he's under contract still.
He's under contract. He's under his rookie scale contract. So he would have to play, but I don't know. It's very interesting, man. I think that there's a lot going on here. more than just obvious, more than meets the eye here. That there's a lot of this going on this season in particular, and I think that there's reasons behind it. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
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 We want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to that. When you see these contracts, what are you seeing? I got a comment here from Greg Hawkins, channel legend. Every ball club has slightly different talent strategies. It's pretty cool to see the Braves have a good system going. For sure, they do.
Go Braves.
We got this nice little comment here. Dodgers are playing a good game against the Mets right now. Kim just hit a 2-run bomb. Nice. It's nice to know like he's playing well, Now he's coming out, but not looking over his shoulder. Speaking of hitting bombs, let's go ahead and move on over and talk a little bit about, actually, we're going to talk about the Dodgers, AJ.
Yeah, let's do it. So I got a question, Darren.
Yeah.
When you think Dodgers, you think Shohei Ohtani, one of the greatest to ever play the game, right? You think Freddie Freeman hitting a game-winning grand slam.
Twice.
I mean, one of those wins, a World Series game. You think Mookie Betts. You think big-name signings, Kyle Tucker, right? Ridiculous pitchers.
It's so funny when Kyle Tucker, you're just like, he's such a footnote, but he's making like $60 million.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, right? Like that's what you're thinking, Dodgers. You think pitching, Yamamoto, Glasnow, Sasaki, Snell. And there's one player on the Dodgers that just shows up. He does his job. He plays great in big moments. He just plays ball, right? Mm-hmm. So Max Muncy is a career .229 hitter. He hit 19 home runs last year, 67 RBIs. Had a great year, 367 OBP. His WAR was 3.6. This guy's a great player on a great team. So is he the most underrated player in Major League Baseball?
Context matters for everything. Like we got to make a shirt out of that, because I think for a lot of the time when you talk baseball, that's my first line is context matters. In this context, absolutely, I have to agree with you that I think Max Muncy is easily the most underrated player in Major League Baseball for a few reasons, right? So Max Muncy was picked up off the scrap heap by the Oakland Athletics.
Yeah.
Fun fact here. Do you know who the Oakland Athletics have on their team?
Max Muncy.
Yes.
Yeah.
They have a player named Max Muncy. They have the same birthday, too.
They got a thing.
Yeah. Just they have the same birthday. That's really weird. I think that's really, really weird. But yeah, so what we have here, again, is Max Muncy, to me, is the most underrated player in Major League Baseball. He signed a minor league contract to join the Dodgers after making some swing changes there. He played a whole 2 seasons with the A's. In those 2 seasons combined, he hit 5 home runs, had an OPS plus of 70, which 100 is Major League average. So 70. And he had 17 RBI in those 2 seasons with the A's. Since joining the Dodgers, AJ, he's had 213 home runs, third most in LA franchise history, with an OPS plus of 128 and 591 RBI with the Dodgers. 2-time All-Star and also 3-time World Series champion. He has the franchise record for most postseason home runs at 16. He has the franchise record with most postseason walks at 60. This season, AJ, he has 3 games where he has 6 RBI or more, 3 multi-home run games, and 2 games with 7 RBI and 2 grand slams this season.
Right.
So based off of that, let's go ahead and take a look at his salary, okay? I want to talk about, let's see here. When it comes to, you're controlling my tablet somehow. That's pretty crazy. So basically when it comes to Major League Baseball, right, your value is based off of, millions per WAR.
Right.
Okay. So you mentioned there that the 2025 season, he had a 3.6 WAR, which actually was a down year for him, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Not even his highest WAR. Yeah.
Not even his highest WAR. Okay. So now the Google machine says the WAR is up to 9 million per WAR now. So based off of that 3.6, okay, 9 WAR.
27.
So he's making about 27 million this year, right?
Yeah, I mean a little higher. I mean with 3.6, he's more like 34.
Yeah. So let's just say it's the 26, right? Let's just say on average, let's say conservatively, it's much lower. The WAR is much lower. 2025, you know how much money he made last season?
5 million.
14 and a half.
Okay,
So
that's a lot more than 5.
14 and a half. So he made 14.5 million last year, but you just said even on a conservative number, it should have been 27.
Yeah.
2024, what was his WAR? If we look at his WAR from 2024, his WAR in 2024 was, let's see here, was come on, man. Baseball Reference is driving me nuts. 2024, his WAR was 3.0. So it should have been like, again, 27.
Yeah.
You go to his salary, he made $9 million last year. $9 million that year. So just he's making, based off his WAR productions, he's making a third of what he actually is. Now, this is a guy who started off with the Dodgers as a second baseman. He tried to make it at second base, and then he became the Dodgers' first baseman, right? And then the Dodgers signed Freddie Freeman. He's like, okay, I'll play third. And so he's played second base, first base, third base. He's a natural first baseman, and now he's actually probably one of the better third basemen in baseball right now. If a ball gets hit to him at 110 miles an hour, I'm not flexing. Like, I'm just like, this guy's good. He's got it, right? This guy has said multiple times on Foul Territory, he's interviewed like every couple of weeks there. He's like, as long as I'm on this team, I'm okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be?
He understands what it means to be a Dodger. He understands what kind of situation he's in. He's like, I get to play with this wonderful organization, this beautiful city. My family loves it here. They've always treated us well. Yeah, I could go sign, in Minnesota or somewhere and make $20 million a year, but I'd rather make $10 million and stay here, and that's exactly what he's making this year is $10 million basically. So yeah. And then he's also got 2 more years, a $7 million team option next year, and then another team option after that for $10 million that year.
I bet you they pick them both up.
You'd be insane not to.
Yeah.
Until this guy has a drop off, it's absolutely insane. But yeah, so that's just Max Muncy, man. And just talking about how he actually had a 3 home run game the other day. And this, it's not Shohei Ohtani doing walk-off home runs and winning games in the extra innings or bottom of the ninth. It's not, Kyle Tucker or Will Smith or any of these guys. It's freaking Max Muncy and Andy Pages. Like, these are players that are going out there and winning games.
Coming out swinging too.
So imagine how good this team's going to be once the actual top of half of the lineup is actually performing the way they should.
Right.
It's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. I like some of the comments here you threw out here. Greg Hawkins, you're just naming Dodger players, I think is what you're doing here. Kyle Tucker. Yeah. And Will Smith. Gotta love those guys. I like Will Smith. Will Smith is a legend. He's actually one of those players that are just like that contract. We signed him to a 10-year, $100 million contract. He's making less than $20 million a year. And he's like easily the best catcher in baseball. Come at me, man. Kyle Raleigh, sure. But who was the one who got all the starts and actually got hits in the WBC? It wasn't Kyle Raleigh. It was Max Muncy.
No, it was actually Will Smith.
Will Smith, not Max Muncy. Will Smith that got those starts. Had a better WBC, and I think he's a better overall catcher. Isn't watching. Yeah, a little bit. It is a little frustrating watching him. I'm not seeing him ground out to first. I'm just seeing him fly out to like center field a lot. So, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's just something we want to talk about when it comes to the Max Muncy there. I see him as being one of the most underrated players in baseball. We'd love to hear from you in the comments down below. Let us know what your thoughts are in regards to that. We had one other thing we want to talk about on baseball here. Let's go ahead and get into it. What we wanted to do is talk about, let's go ahead and throw this back up here, AJ. Get this back up. We're going to share our screen here, and there are 8 new City Connect jerseys in Major League Baseball this year.
Yes.
Now, we want to go through, I'm going to throw up all of them here, but what we're going to do is we're just going to do our top 3 because I think we're kind of running a little long here. And I want to get to our random ones here.
Yeah.
So we got all of them up here. The teams that have them are the Atlanta Braves, Baltimore Orioles, Cincinnati Reds, Kansas City Royals, Milwaukee Brewers, Pittsburgh Pirates, San Diego Padres, and the Texas Rangers. All of them have City Connect jerseys. Give me your third favorite and why.
Third favorite is probably the Braves jersey.
Braves jersey, okay.
Coming from a Braves fan, that's probably my third favorite. That is a beautiful jersey. I love the throwback. And it goes back to the 1980s. The ATL script. Those are just clean, dude. I mean, the cursive, the powder blue you can't beat.
Yeah.
So I love the block ATL on the sleeve like you just showed.
Love the A on the hat too.
Yeah.
That's the
I'm planning on ordering one of the throwback A hats because they're so sick. So
they are.
third favorite jersey, got to be the Braves.
Okay. Believe it or not, that's my third favorite. I actually thought it was going to be much higher for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you have for your second favorite?
I think my second favorite is probably the Reds.
The Reds. Okay.
I love these Reds jerseys, dude. I think the way they did that C is it's like way different
is
than
pretty
some of the
cool.
other ones. I love the classic pinstripe. I mean, to throw the Cincy on there.
There's that. C
That's
you're
just
talking about.
just a clean, nice looking logo. I mean the back fading on the numbers and stuff looks really good. Number 2 definitely got to be the Reds.
Yeah, see, what's funny about this one is I'm not a huge fan. I like it with the pants though too. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's just I think the Red Sox did it better with the Chicago Bulls jerseys last year.
yeah, that is a cool idea.
It kind of seems
Yeah.
like these are kind of a mimic of that.
Yeah,
But I do kind of see what you're talking about there. That is kind of unique. Definitely not what you would see from the Reds. Okay, very cool. Very, very cool. My second favorite is simply just because of the fact. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to go with my second favorite. I want to hear because I don't want to blow it in case it's your number one. What's your number one favorite?
Pirates.
The Pirates. Okay.
Those
All right.
Pirates jerseys are sick.
The Pirates jerseys. Okay, let's scroll down there and get to the Pirates. All right, man. I got to say, I love the text of this one.
Love the text.
I think it's so cool. Like, it's got like an anger to it, you know. Definitely got that swashbuckling type thing
Yeah.
going on there
Yep.
while still maintaining like that color palette that everybody in Pittsburgh's known for.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, yeah, that little
The
swashbuckler.
pirate logo, especially on the hats.
Are we going to see the hat? We're not going to see the hat.
Oh no. But the
Yeah,
pirate
it's basically
logo
gonna
on
be
the
similar
hats.
like this on a yellow hat. Right?
Yeah, it's sick.
That is very, very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
So that's my favorite one.
Okay, so that's your favorite one. My second favorite one, believe it or not, is I'm going to go with the San Diego Padres
Really?
as my second favorite. The reason behind this one, AJ, is simply because of how ugly their current one is. That highlighter explosion all over the white piece of paper that they have now, it just looks absolutely ugly. They take this color
It's just
palette, they
all
throw
over
it
the
all
place.
over the
Yeah.
so ugly. I like this one secondary simply because I like the text. I like the numbers. I love the Day of the Dead thing on there on the shoulder. I think that's so cool. Pinstripes are nice, but I mainly like this one. This one got second for me because of how ugly their last ones were. That is the primary reason. Just so bad.
Hey, fair enough.
So bad. But my number one, AJ, is going to be the Kansas City Royals.
I really like these. I actually really do like these.
And believe it or not, I like these ones enough to where it actually makes me like the Dodgers current City Edition ones better.
Yeah.
The hat kind of came around on me, but I never really liked the jerseys. I still have complaints about that one. Like, why do the numbers disappear, around the name? Still doesn't make any sense to me. But I love this one because I love, again, that royal color. And I really like just kind of the scripting of that. And I don't know if we get to see the hats. But again, the number blocking and everything on here is just really cool on the sleeve. And the hats. So you're not going to see it here, but on the hats, they got that crown logo that we have like right here.
That one? Yeah.
On like a faded color on top of the hat, like fades down. The helmet like actually fades down like that.
Yeah.
On the
like
helmet.
the gradient.
Yes. And then like the hat has the blue with that little thing there. And yeah, that's my favorite out of those ones. Yeah.
I like it. The Royals was a tough one for me because I do like that. I don't like the Baltimore ones at all.
Be more what? Be
Yeah.
more creative?
Yeah.
Like,
Horrible.
I don't get that one, honestly. And like the other one that I'm kind of not, I think this is kind of cool for the Brewers at Wisconsin, because they already are Milwaukee, so the city edition, and they're going to do that. But like what's Brewers about this? I don't really like
There's
that
nothing
one.
Brewers about that jersey.
Yeah. And the Texas Tejas, I understand what they're doing there, with kind of like a Spanish alternate thing there. That's cool. But yeah, just going all
It's meh
red
for me. Yeah.
like all red, like there's so much more you could have done with that. I'm just not a fan, for sure. Not a fan. But yeah, we want to know what you think, folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Which one was your favorite alternate jersey? We've got a couple here from Greg Hawkins we want to jump into real quick. Let's see here. First one from here is I think the Brewers have the best one. Okay. He got the Wisco one. He likes the Wisco. I like the scripting. The scripting's a bit familiar, but the color combination's kind of cool. I like the W on the hat. That's kind of cool. But yeah, so this one here, I love the rainbow lettering on the Brewers jersey, touching an homage to the city fans and the love for the LGBT culture. I didn't see that.
I didn't notice that either, actually.
We have to go down and check it out. Are they not in here? Did we skip past it?
Oh, there
it is. Oh, yeah, the gradient on the numbers. Check that out. That's cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that. Still my least favorite. The Pirates, Greg. Them Pirates jerseys, though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I never see that here. Let's do a quick share so you can show it. Yeah, I didn't notice the color gradient there. Very cool. Very cool. All right, before we get out of here, we have a couple of things we want to talk about. AJ, what is your baseball comment of the week? What's your story of the week you wanted to bring up?
So this is did you see that on Monday we had 9 players hit 2 home runs in a single game?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is nuts.
And it just happened to be 2 of them playing in the same game.
Yeah.
Aaron Judge and Mike Trout just happened to have a home run derby in the middle of a baseball game.
That game was probably going to go down as one of the best regular season games of all time.
Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy game. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys just going back to back at it. Here's a 2-run bomb. Here's a solo home run.
Yeah.
Here's a 2-run bomb to tie it up.
Pretty cool.
So crazy.
That's not even the most home runs ever hit in a single day. Back in 2019, 10 players had 2-run home runs in a single day, but that was played over 15 games. The 9 players that hit 2 home runs in a single game was played over a 10-game period.
Wow.
So this is the most home runs to games played in a single day in a percentage base.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got 2 that I want to bring up. And you tell me which way you want to go on this one.
Okay, I'm ready.
Do you want a Hollywood feel-good story, or do you want oh my gosh, I can't believe they didn't do that story?
Hollywood feel good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to the 2025 World Series, if we must. I know, gosh, it's going to be tough for me to talk about.
Dare and bring back up the World Series again. How would it be to be a Dodgers fan?
I think I'd have to actually bring it up for both stories. But the Dodgers had a pretty stacked starting rotation and a stacked bullpen, right?
Yeah.
But there's one very important piece to that bullpen that was missing, and that was Alex Vesia.
Yeah.
Alex Vesia was not part of the World Series. Even the Blue Jays relievers put his number 51 on their hats in a way to pay homage. We won't go into too much of it, but he, due to a family emergency, due to a loss of a child, he was not there for the World Series. Well, a couple of games ago, AJ, and this I think was actually last game. It was last game, so not the one against the Mets today. It's the one prior. The Dodgers have a 2-1 lead, right? Off of a Kyle Tucker RBI single, dropped the ball in. Kyle Tucker got an RBI single. And, the Dodgers have this stacked rotation, right? They have, anyway, before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about the game. You're laughing about over there.
Sorry.
So we have, the Dodgers, they have a healthcare workers appreciation night, right?
Yeah.
And so during Alex Vesia's time away from the team, he and his wife were at the hospital, and they had a bunch of doctors and nurses that were helping them out.
Yeah.
Alex Vesia put them in a suite at Dodger Stadium for this game. He has not seen these people since that incident that they had last year, right? But he puts them up in the suite. He brought them down. They got to be on the field before the game started and got to see some of the Dodger Stadium, some of the behind the scenes stuff. These workers that were there for him and his wife that he hasn't seen since then. He got to put them up in the suite and everything, right? So very touching moment, right? That he's back in. Well, this is a close game, man. It's 1-1 going into the 8th inning. the Mets starter. I think his name is, oh gosh, he was one of our better pitchers from the WBC. Anyway, but it was also against Yamamoto. They both only gave up like 1 run.
Oh, geez.
So they were shoving, right? It was 1-1. And then in like the 8th inning, Kyle Tucker hit a little bloop single that scored an RBI. So the Dodgers are winning 2-1. The Dodgers bullpen, they have Edwin Diaz. He's our closer. We signed him to be our closer, right?
Yeah.
He pitched the day before. His velocity's down a little bit. Yeah, we'll set you down. They have Blake Trinan. They have Tanner Scott. They have all these great arms on that team, right?
Yeah.
No. It comes down to saving the game. They bring in Alex Vesia. And Alex Vesia goes out there and strikes out the side to end the game.
All 3?
All 3.
No way.
Strikes out the side on Healthcare Workers Appreciation Night, where the doctors and nurses that helped him out and his wife out personally were in a suite in the stands there the whole game. Perfect little Hollywood ending for
actually kind of gives me chills. Like that's actually a really cool story.
Yeah. So not only did the Dodgers like have the foresight, be like, no, we're gonna let Vesia take this one, let him get the save.
Of all days,
just go out there and just shove. And the fact that he's been so great about it, he didn't owe anybody anything. But before the season started, he had a statement that he read to the press and everything to let them know what happened and everything. Really great that a player will tell you that kind of stuff, but you're not owed that at all.
Yeah.
Right. And the fact that he's using baseball as a way to kind of get through the loss, and then to have a game like that on a night like that where you just come in, you absolutely shove, strike out the side, and then just basically get to scream and walk off the field, point to that suite to everybody that everybody's up there.
Yeah.
And give them one of those. It's a great
That's
story.
a really cool moment.
Great story.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, we want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below on anything we talked about baseball today. We're going to hit some of these comments before we get out of here. We have one here from Greg Hawkins, Channel Legend. The Dodgers have a stacked rotation and a stacked bullpen and a stacked lineup, backups, coaching staff, and pockets. Yeah, I think you nailed it there. I think you nailed it. If only we can fix Roki Sasaki, we'll be all right, And then we have a comment from a friend of the channel, Tammy Price. Great to see you. Vesia is so great. Absolutely. Once again, folks, we want to hear from you. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we do this live stream every Wednesday evening at 7:30, so Mountain Time. So please sure to join in if you're listening to us on our podcast after the fact. Please feel free to join us live. A link to all the sub channels that we talked about tonight will also be in the description down below. So be sure if you want to check out any one of those videos, please be sure to check out those sub channels there in the comments in the description down below.
Yep. If you're watching on one of the short videos, just know this whole episode's available as a podcast on our main channel or wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time. Thanks, Greg.